I think the worst thing happening to kids today is that the secular left, the fake news media, the uniparty in Washington, they're trying to take God out of all aspects of society. And they're trying to water down on the Judeo-Christian bedrock of America. And my personal feeling is we shouldn't be watering down, we should be doubling down. We should be instilling faith in the classroom, in the workplace, and everywhere in society. The secular left, the ACLU, the Southern Poverty Law Center, a lot of these Soros-funded organizations, they advance the argument that the separation of church and state exists, and for that reason you can't teach kids about religion. My personal feeling is there's no such thing as separation of church and state.
Okay, everybody, welcome to Monday. So what was that and who was that and why are we listening to that? Okay, so Senator Rob Portman in Ohio is not running for re-election in 20 and 22, so it created a large vacuum. We've talked about vacuums before and how people fill them with crap every time you create one. Well, Portman's decision not to run again has created a vacuum in the Republican Party, and that right there is Josh Mandel, who was part of a Senate GOP primary debate over the weekend, and his thesis to swear an oath to the Constitution as a U.S. Senator. Okay, this is what he hopes to accomplish by showing up to a Senate primary debate. He hopes to be elected so that he can swear an oath to the Constitution, which clearly he has no regard for or no information about, because he doesn't believe that there's a separation of church and state, and this is his thesis upon which he's running. There was some really interesting creatures on the stage. This is Jane Timken. She's also in the Ohio primary. Jane also wanted to talk about education. Her feeling is that our children can't read or write because of critical race theory.
I think our education system is failing our children for a variety of reasons. They are falling further and further behind. Our children are failing in schools. They cannot read. They cannot write. It is because our education system has deviated from its job. And instead of prayer and patriotism in school, we're now talking about critical race theory and the other issues like sexuality and other sex education that is destroying the lives of these children.
Okay, I had sex education when I was in school. Trust me, I can read and I can write. And there is no such thing as critical race theory being taught in the skills. I mean, this is just bizarre world, and this is the kind of crap that is happening all across this country in various races for congressional seats. Oh, I have to show you a congressional, you want to see something really, really obscene? So I bring up obscenity right now because I do want to talk to you about Dave Chappelle. I watched it. I watched The Closer, which is Dave Chappelle's last stand-up comedy special, he says, for a good long time on Netflix. But I want you to see what real obscenity sounds like, looks like, smells like. This is a guy who's running for Congress in Arizona. Arizona, we have to talk. Something's gone horribly wrong. Florida cannot exist as your excuse to be this bad. I know I live in Florida. I know exactly, but you don't want to race to the bottom with us. We'll win, and then you'll be an also-ran. Do you know what I'm saying? It won't. So why are you running people like this here guy? Okay, this is Ron Watkins. Why do I know that name? Why do you know that name? You know that name because Ron Watkins' father owned 8chan. And 8chan wasn't making any money. So they rebranded it as 8kun. I don't know. I mean, there's an obvious, consonant missing from the end of what they wanted to, sell. But 8con, and this was the originating platform for the QAnon conspiracy crowd. Okay, that's where it all occurred. And the reason that they decided to go with this crazy conspiracy theory that had something to do with pedophile rings in America being run by the global elite, and that Donald J. Trump was going to drain that swamp. He was going to expose all of them and get rid of them. I don't know. But anyway, this all started on that channel, and they did it so that they could make some money with it because they weren't making any money with it. So Ron Watkins was running that site. Ron Watkins, in some circles, is considered to be Q, meaning he dreamt up these stupid, breadcrumbs, the Q droppings. I mean, it's so bizarre. And that he did it, as this character, Q, in order to get people, in order to get eyeballs, in order to get, people to stay on his ridiculously hateful platform, which, 8chan was the white supremacist, bird bath is what it was. And so now, but they weren't making any money with the supremacy. So they decided, let's do a conspiracy theory about pedophiles. And that's what they turned it into. So Ron Watkins, is now running for Congress in Arizona. And this weekend, they had a Patriot Double Down. I swear to God, it was like the Prayer and Patriot Double Down conference. Q is actually having conventions now. They're in the convention business. And he decided that he was going to, ask for your vote by telling you who he really is in the in his civil rights movement that he's fighting. I swear.
So what you have to know is that we are living now through a modern digital civil rights movement. And you could call me the new Rosa Parks because
Is this what you do at your weekends?
I've been out there. I've been getting canceled left and right over the past few years. I've been on the front lines fighting so you guys can have a voice. And
you've been doing that so we could have a voice.
And you might say, oh, why? Why is Ron the new digital Rosa Parks? Well, I want to get on the bus. I want to get on the Twitter bus. I want to get on the Google bus. I want to get on the Facebook bus. I want to get on the Chase Bank bus. We have all been kicked off the bus.
I guarantee there's somebody at Chase Bank that's like, what did he just say?
No. It's the smattering, the golf applause. This is what gets me, because any mention of civil rights in a QAnon crowd is not welcome. It just isn't. And so this was such a mismatch of identity, for these people that, had to switch from, China white straight to the vein, white supremacy into QAnon, pedophilia, white supremacy. You just don't bring up the civil rights. You just don't do it. It was such a misfit that it was just a smattering. I don't even think they knew who Rosa Parks was. I don't think they understand what get on the bus means. I don't think they understood any of his references, which makes it really bad material. And the reason why he was kicked off of these platforms is for fomenting violence, which is not free speech. It's not anything Rosa Parks was for. She sat on a bus in a place where only whites could sit to make the point that this is stupid and ridiculous, not to foment violence. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to randyrhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.